Hi guys, welcome back to Antalya, Turkey. Merhaba, that means hi. I learned a couple others too. Teşekkürler, thank you, and günaydın, good morning. I think that's about all I can remember right now. So before I get too much into everything that's happened, it's been a week since we last spoke. It's Monday, so exactly a week ago, last Monday, I was still in Budapest. So let me show you the view real quick and then I'll continue on from there. Sunny for once. All right, check it out. And hopefully you can see this, but look at the color of the water. All right, so, actually let me show you this cool hand sculpture too. And, well, I'll show you as you get closer, but that's a really nice restaurant and I think hotel. Yeah, so last time we spoke, I was still in Budapest. Not too much more from there, but forgot to mention before, one thing that was invented in Hungary is the Rubik's Cube, so didn't know that one. I also was looking on the map at some point and saw there was a street name called Brody something, my last name and some other word. And then I remembered, which I forgot about, I actually have ancestors from that area. So I totally forgot that because I'm always thinking Russia, but it was cool then to, again, like put that together. Back in the day when it was the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Anyway, it's just cool to learn all that stuff. So let me show you this view real quick. Really pretty. And then other than that, I had a langos burger, which langos is basically deep fried bread. So think of a burger, but instead of the buns, it's basically 2 pieces of this bread. Delicious. I'm sure not healthy for you or good for you at all, but had to try it. It was good. Yeah, and then the last day I went to the Széchenyi thermal baths, which was awesome and a good way to end the stay there. So it was 6 degrees outside, basically I think about 40 degrees Fahrenheit that day, but the thermal baths were 28 degrees. Is that right? Yeah. Anyways, no, I'm confusing all my numbers. But anyways, the baths got up to 40 degrees, which I think is like, I think 105, let's say. But most of the pools weren't really that hot. But anyways, it was cool to check out. They have these 2 big pools outside with a lap pool in the middle. I was actually thinking of going in there, doing some laps, but you needed a cap, which I didn't want to buy that one. I did end up having to buy flip-flops basically, and I got a robe, which now I have a bathrobe. I seriously don't know how I'm fitting anything in my suitcase anymore because I basically hardly can, and it's about to bust. It's almost happened like twice. So anyways, you can't rent, so I ended up having to buy those, but all worked out. It was still a cool experience. Let me check out this way. Just gonna give you guys a tour all around, kind of walking this park area now. But so yeah, they have these baths outside, but then inside there's lots more options. So there's a bunch more pools. They have steam rooms. Some were like, one was a salt steam room, one was they had a sauna, which one was like an aromatherapy one. And anyways, basically just hung out there for a couple hours, which was really nice. A nice way to relax my last day there. So I think that pretty much wraps up the rest of the stay in Hungary. Left the next morning, took a Bolt taxi, which is another different one. That was for Hungary. Didn't need to take my laptops out of the bag, which was really nice in the airport. Apparently, I think they're like, I forgot what it said, but they're more advanced in that airport as far as requirements go, or the biggest, one of the first, I forget what it was, but that was a nice nice thing to make the process quicker. And then I arrived to Istanbul. So I've been to Turkey before, about 5 years ago when I was doing my around the world trip. And this time I was meeting up with my company. So as I expected, it was a jam-packed schedule. I had absolutely no time to make a video, but it was really awesome and really nice meeting everyone in person. I'd met some people before, but everyone's remote. So I got to meet everyone, which is super nice. Here, let me show you this view real quick and then I'll continue on. There's also a skate park back there behind the water. And if you didn't notice, finally, it's nice out. I don't have a coat on or a beanie or gloves. I'm loving this. It's a good place to end. So anyways, Istanbul. So we get in that first day. Next day is pretty jam-packed schedule. We go to the old town to see all the basically like main historic sites. We go to the Topkapi Palace, which is basically the Ottomans. That's where the sultans used to live. So we checked out that area. Then we went to Hagia Sophia, which is one of the most famous basically buildings you're gonna see there or attractions to visit. It originally was the church and one of the greatest and largest one. And then later it became a mosque. It kind of was going back and forth, and then anyways, became a museum, and then eventually now it's a mosque again. You can go visit, but you can also, it's actually a functioning mosque as well. So visited there. I had been basically in this area and walking around and everything the time before, but I didn't go inside of anything. So same with the palace actually. So those were new to like see and learn a bit more, which is nice. The lanterns inside, they have these huge, amazing lanterns, which is super gorgeous. There's elements from both religions since it's been. Ooh, check out the cats. That's another thing. They're everywhere in Turkey. So cute. So I've been making friends along the way. And oh yeah, you see elements of both religions in there. This is a cool thing I learned. The carpet, they kind of have these, I don't know what you call it, but basically it's like this pattern on the carpet that's kind of like these parallel lines. And if you're going to a mosque and you're praying and kneeling on the ground and everything, you're always supposed to face Mecca. And so the way that these lines, or whatever you want to call them, patterns, are arranged on the carpet, it's facing Mecca basically. So if you don't know which way it is, you just line up your feet with those lines and then you'll be facing the correct direction. Anyways, so we went there, also to the Blue Mosque, another one of the main spots, which is not blue from the outside. It's named Blue Mosque because of the tiles inside, even though I think it's a little bit of a misleading name because it's not just like overwhelming blue, which I kind of think of in Chefchaouen in Morocco. Like everything there's blue, so misleading name, but anyways. Check that out. There's this legend goes that basically they were supposed to build these gold minarets, and instead they built 6 minarets because the name's similar. It's Alti instead of Alti or something like that. So the story goes, and the largest mosque in Mecca had 6 minarets, so they were scared that, they were gonna like, I can't think of the word, but basically they were gonna piss someone off because nothing should be like grander than that one. So anyways, but eventually they built the 7th one, the one in Mecca, so all was good. Anyways, we visited there, and then we went to Hagia Sophia, Blue Mosque, and we also did the Grand Bazaar. I think, yeah, those were the 3 main stops. Grand Bazaar, again, you could buy anything and everything there. Yeah, that was like mostly that first day. That was jam-packed. And later, after dinner that night, another unplanned thing happened, which I feel like this is kind of how it goes. But anyways, after dinner, one of my coworkers, which I had no idea, but she's really into dancing and bachata and all this stuff. So she was planning on going out. So of course, originally my plan was to sleep, which later changed to dancing. So a few of us from work went out dancing. They had a couple songs that were salsa originally, and there were only like 2 pairs dancing. And then bachata came on, and of course the floor flooded with people. Anyways, the rest of the night was bachata, but that was fun to go out, go dancing. Kind of funny that now it's been a couple times on this trip, and I've hardly been going at home. So anyways, that was a fun unplanned adventure. And then the next day we left to go to Cappadocia. So I had also been there before on my previous trip. But anyways, oh, actually I forgot to mention, before we went to Cappadocia, we did this boat ride on the Bosphorus. So that was also something nice and new and different, because I hadn't done the boat ride before, but that's one of the things to do. So just nice views and everything. Look, more kitty cats. They're so cute. There was an older lady earlier, like over there petting them. Anyways, so yeah, we did the boat ride, then we went to Cappadocia, got in, and then the next day got up early to do the hot air balloon ride. So that was really awesome, definitely the highlight of that trip, especially there. And last time I was there, I had woken up early to go watch the hot air balloons. This time I actually got to go in one. So amazing views from up there, got to see the sunrise, and it's really cool. You kind of go up and down, but it's super like chill, relaxing, and you get closer to all these cool looking sights. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like desert landscapes, but there's these cutouts of the mountains with basically used to live in these caves and stuff. So it looks really cool. You get up close and get a better view of them. So we did the hot air balloon, and then after having breakfast, we were going around all day checking out all the sights. So we went to the underground city. I had been there before, but it's really cool to see how they built this entire underground city below the earth. Yeah, and with these caves and cutouts, and they're explaining all the different rooms, like what used to be the kitchen or the church or the graveyard or whatever. And that was a million years ago, and the Christians were escaping persecution. They'd go under there if they thought they were going to be attackers, because it was a small town. They didn't have soldiers or anyone to protect them, so that was their defense, hiding. So we checked out that. We stopped by Pigeon Valley, which I had also been there before, but probably explored it a bit more. So this is another area where you stop and you see there's all these little holes cut out in the mountain walls, or whatever you want to call it, and basically they would use the droppings from the pigeons as fertilizer. So we stopped by there, then we continued on. And we went to this open air museum. That was also new to me, so I was glad I got to see and do some different things, even though it was places I had been to before. So same landscape, but there's basically all these cave churches, more or less, in this whole area. So I think there's like supposed to be 13 or something like that. But I'll go this way now. Yeah, we checked out a few of them, and they have these paintings inside, and you can see, I think part of it was for a monastery, and you could see this long, again, if they didn't tell you, you wouldn't know what anything was, but they would use it as a table, and all these religious paintings inside, but a lot of them have been vandalized, and they'll scratch out the eyes and face and stuff because they didn't want people to continue, practicing Christianity. And anyways, we checked out that, so that was something different and cool to see. Then afterwards, we went to grab lunch in town, had this really amazing lunch. So that day was like the best day for food, because the hotel food we'd been having wasn't that great. This was really good. A lot of times they would bring out all these little appetizers and sauces and things you could have with bread, but then this was different. They brought out these really hot plates they'd put on the table, and then they'd have these little clay jars they'd come out with. You'd use a hammer and like bang it around the sides of the jar, and then the top would come off that way. And then they'd pour it into this hot plate that was pretty much like fajita style and just sizzling. Anyways, that was a really good meal. I've also had been trying baklava like everywhere we went, so, and one of the guys from work who's Turkish, he's like, no, not that one. That's not good here. I'll tell you when we get to a place that has a good one. But anyways, gotta keep trying. Also had Turkish coffee and tea. That's another point. They drink tea here all the time. They call it chai, but it's just black tea. And they serve it in these little glasses, clear glasses. So it's just really cute. And you'll see them walking around sometime with a tray and a bunch of little teas on it. They're like that big about. But it looks like a vase. That's really cute. And the Turkish coffee is also served in these tiny little cute cups, about that big, like espresso size. But they don't filter it, so it's, generally speaking, pretty muddy. So all the grinds and stuff are in the bottom of the cup. And then another thing, which I remember this from when I was in Albania, so they do it here as well. But some people, they'll do like a reading. So after you drink the coffee, you wait, you flip it over onto the plate, you spin it around, and then like there's this whole thing. They'll then turn over the glass or cup, look at the markings inside that the coffee leaves, and they'll pretty much like read your, or whatever, tell you whatever they see. So some people from work had done that. One of the girls said it was like crazy accurate, she was like really surprised. But anyways, saw that done and tried that. Had this amazing lunch, and then afterwards I got to try the Turkish bath at the hotel. So I wasn't totally sure what exactly that involved because I hadn't done it before, and was trying to get kind of a description from some of our coworkers. So anyways, we go do this at the hotel. And what ends up being, one of my coworkers and I went down and did it, but there's like these giant stone slabs in this room, really big, like 2 giant stone slabs. And it's only one slab, but they do, like each one can fit 2 people. So you're side by side more or less on this table. It's warm, the stone's warm. And then we each had one girl that was like giving us the Turkish bath. So they have you lay down, but I had my bathing suit on, otherwise they'll give you like this little paper bottom like covering. Kind of reminds me of when I did the Ayurveda massage in India. So they have you lay down, they pour warm water on you, and then after that they use this thing to pour all these bubbles on you, more or less like foam, soapy bubbles. And then they're kind of, and then they use this scrubby thing, whatever it was. I didn't really see because I mostly had my eyes closed, so I wasn't like looking at everything actually. But then they use this to bathe you, more or less. So you're lying there and they're like sponging you all over with this scrubby thing that's supposed to exfoliate your skin. And they do like have you do one side, have you flip over, do the other side, as if like how they would do a massage. Let me show you this view as well. Another look out here. So pretty out right now. It's supposed to rain in a couple days, but nice for now. There's a Ferris wheel back there. Not sure if you can see that. Yeah, so they do all that and then scrub you down and like kind of give you a little massage, but not much. I wouldn't really call it much of a massage, more of a bath. The whole thing was about half an hour. So anyways, and then afterwards they rinse you off with water and later have you sit down. Oh, they do your hair too. So it's literally like someone bathing you, more or less. But it was cool to try. Definitely like more of a fan of massages, I would say. But definitely you gotta try whatever is the thing when you're traveling around. So I did give that a shot. And later we had a really amazing dinner. So the president of our company also owns this hotel in Cappadocia, so we went there for dinner. which was so good. They had, again, like these little dips more or less to start out with. It was a tasting menu more or less. Then these almost little raviolis that were delicious. Then I got the meat, which is so good and tender, almost kind of like brisket style, just falls apart really easily. And then of course everyone got baklava for dessert, and this was the one place my coworker was like, this is where it's really good, you should get it. And I ended up getting the molten chocolate lava cake, my favorite. But at the same time, like, everyone else is getting that, so I'm sure we can share. So I ended up doing that with one of my coworkers, and we each like split it half and half. So got to try everything. I think that covers that last day. It was pretty jam-packed, but super awesome. Everyone was exhausted and tired, but it was a great day. And then after all that, again, my plan, of course, was going to sleep, because next day everyone was flying out and going home. I'm basically walking through one of these like beach clubs here, since we're in the Turkish Riviera. It's a thing here. But anyways, one of our Turkish coworkers was asking some of us or whatever, like, if we wanted to go out. So I wasn't planning on it, but I was like, okay, like, it's the last time we're all here together in person. Of course, like, have to take advantage of that. So then I figured, I'm sure we'll just like go for a drink somewhere, kind of chill. Nope. It ends up like he takes us to this club, more or less. It's a pretty small place, definitely a club. There's like music blasting, and all of a sudden we're walking that direction. We're like, oh, that's where we're going. But it was fun. They were playing techno music, but mixed with other styles. So anyways, it was fun. Yeah, so awesome time in Cappadocia. We all headed out the next morning. Some people did not wake up, and we had to wake them up. I was one of the two that we left a bit earlier, which was still late. It was like 2 a.m. And some of the others stayed. We had to meet at 7:30 in the morning to go to the airport. Anyways, 3 of the others that stayed behind like all slept through their alarms or whatever, and we had to go wake them up. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, so yesterday everyone flew back. We said our goodbyes, and I came to Antalya. So just got in yesterday and have been just walked around the old town a bit in the evening, which is just super cute, and I'm really glad I came here at this spot I had not been to before. But again, like I said, it's a beach destination. There's all these resorts here, and I just walked around the old town. I'm staying at this cute little boutique hotel right in the center, so there's all these shops and restaurants and blah blah blah. They're known for the Turkish towels here, which I forgot about. I also tried this coffee called the Flavor Salep, which is really good. It reminded me of horchata. Anyways, tried that in addition to the tea and coffee. Here's some more views. Get a bit closer. Yeah, so just walked around a bit yesterday evening, popped in some shops, because basically we had no time to shop before. We were so busy running around, like no downtime, although some of my coworkers still squeezed it in. But yeah, that's been yesterday evening. And then today just been walking around a bit more, checking out the sights. So it's nice seeing everything during the day. Obviously I can see a lot more through all these little cute streets, and walked basically to the marina. There's this beach I was thinking of going down to. I could see it from the marina. There's these stairs that lead down, but anyways, I walked over to where the restaurant was, where it looked like the stairs were coming from, and apparently it's a private beach. So I don't know how warm the water was. I wanted to feel it out, but didn't end up going down because I wanted to walk around a bit more. And I don't think, anyways, it was still like pretty shady in that area. I don't think the water is that warm. Let me show you this view real quick. And that's Old Town back there, basically. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. Just walking around where I'm showing you guys Old Town, that beach, which is Marmalay or something like that beach, means marble. and then through this boardwalk area more or less, and stopped in this place to grab a coffee, which is a Tokyo coffee they called it, basically an iced one with, it looked like boba, although it tasted different. It wasn't boba, and chocolate, although I'm not so much sure I tasted that in it, but it was good. Again, I had to try it because it was new to me and that's my thing. So I think that's pretty much it up until today. I have like 3 more days here to explore, and then I head back Friday. I should say start my journey back Friday. It's gonna be a long journey. So yeah, I think that's it. Of course, as usual, whatever I forget, I'll fill you in on. I'm just thinking one thing now, those little tidbits. So one thing I learned about years ago and then forgot and then noticed when I was here. So Turkey's known for like having really good deals to do hair transplants. So that first day we were walking all around Istanbul. At first I see this guy's head and I was like, what is that? Like, it just looks super weird. Like, what was on his head? And then I started seeing it everywhere and I was like, ah, that's what it looks like, because I didn't know. So anyways, you see that a lot here. Like, now that I'm aware it's a thing and then I realize what it looks like, now I've seen it all over. So yeah, just another thing. In case you need it done, this is a spot to come to. And yeah, I think that's mostly it. So I'll leave you guys with that. And I'll fill you in, try to do probably one more video before I head out. We'll see how that goes and catch up soon. All right, talk to you later. Bye.